would you do if mom cheated on you?
It's just sex.
So you're saying there's nothing wrong with cheating?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. When relationship ends, it's okay. Because the problem is, we think to end a relationship is bad. No.
Just because they're your parents, it doesn't mean they're right.
No, because you forgot also the parents can have mental sickness. Parents can be sick. Worse people. In the divorce marriage, they are parents for the kid. They are the worst. They are parents, they are kids. They are parents, they have very bad advisories. Like that things, if we don't stop it in Africa, we're going to continue to be behind. We're going to continue to damage our kids unknowingly.
Welcome back to the Rubasha Family Podcast. Dad, we have you on again. Just real quick, guys. I know a lot of you guys have been watching our episodes, audio and on video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It is very important that you guys subscribe, show us support as we want to bring out these lovely conversations. So don't forget to do that. And if you're listening on audio, make sure you download this episode, subscribe to the Rubasha Family Podcast on all platforms. So Dad, how does it feel to have another conversation?
Yeah, very good. So happy and so excited again to come to your show.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, we're getting a lot of interaction online and social media platforms, so it's good to continue.
Yeah, make us growing. So we are growing into the podcast and also in ourselves, we are growing.
Yeah. Okay, so Dad, you've been having these conversations, getting the camera out there and talking. And it's interesting. It's an interesting journey. So the last talk you did, if you guys haven't seen it, it's out on audio and on video. And you had the conversation about relationships. And we had the title of the video. And you talked about in the video how there was no such thing as a failed marriage. So explain.
Yeah. So as I say, I'm growing. Also, is part of my experience in life. So always, especially what I'm saying is just from me with my experience. So what I mean by it is that because people have been told us certain time for long times, especially the religious, they've been telling us how life is going to be, especially relationship. So which is mean you have to have a relationship until the end of your day. So now people have been measuring themselves with that period. So now if you have a relationship, if you get married and then the relationship doesn't get longer, the times they told you in the church, you feel you fail. But no, you are not failing. Marriage is not that. Marriage is the time of period you are with the person you love. In that period, that is the marriage. If it's 4 years, it's 4 years. If it's 6 months, it's 6 months. That was marriage.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like divorce, and we see that quite a lot today, but I feel the reason why people see it as failed is because, like, divorce is a big thing. It's money. You have to divorce, like, it is a lot, and then you're going, and in like you said, in religion, divorce it's not good. Like, it's frowned upon. But it's understandable because divorce is also, it's costly. No one wants to divorce. So I think maybe that's why when you said failed marriage, you spend so much on the wedding, you have a good time, and then 6 months, 2 years, people divorce. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So, because again, you remember also the wedding, always you spend. So the cost is not about issues. So now the divorce is not bad. So what is bad is to live in life in hell. You see? To live in life unhappily. See, like especially as for African, our relative been living in hell because they are scared to divorce. They have been living in a bad relationship because the church have told them, no, it had to be end of the day. Why do you need to live in hell? Because somebody else say. So what I'm trying to bring to people, guys, look, people told you this. Let's look back. We are growing up. Let's see if what these people have said is right, or let's think about it. That's what I'm bringing to people. We are not arguing. Let's see what these people, they have been told us, which is relevant if the times we are in. And now you look in Western countries, now divorce is much easier because they experience that. They experience that unhappiness.
And it's at a much higher rate.
Yes, it's high rate because they know to live good life. They choose to live in healthy marriage or to divorce, and then everybody goes his own, and then you go on different way. I think that is the best way.
It's true. It's true. Like even maybe some women cope with abuse, or people mental trauma, emotional traumas, but because, like you say, and it's not even like you said. Okay, the church, and you see, most people are followers. But another thing is, a lot of people are not critical thinkers. And in terms of, you go on social media and a happy relationship, there's people smiling. I've been together 80, however many years, and you see that, and then you start to compare yourself to that. Or you compare yourself to your neighbor or to your friends who, we've been married for 50 years. But you don't even know in that 50 years they're going through hell. You don't know that. They could be have peace or they could have better.
Yes.
Like you said, it could be fine. Whatever the case is, you don't know. But instead of, I just think it's about critical thinking and say, wait a minute, what defines a good relationship? You know what I mean?
Yes. So that's why. So you and you remember, always I say, it's love. Always start with love, but sometimes love ends. I don't know why the love ends. We don't know how the thing change, because always people start with love. That we get married, that we go into relationship. As even I said before, sometimes when the marriages happen, every person has his own mind why they are going into that marriage. No one knows who the right is. See, you could be thinking love. You can't measure love. So that sometimes also it becomes a short period of time, because in the beginning of the wedding, there was something behind. The love was strong, or maybe there was not even love there. Maybe it was something else. You happen to have a marriage. Yes.
Sometimes maybe it could even be lost. Like the person looks good, and then you're with them, and then maybe late down the ride you realize.
Also, you will take advantage of somebody.
What do you mean?
Yeah, there are people, women can marry somebody because of financial gain. If there is money, is there, it's happy. If there's no money, they go. See? So a special financial situation always is the key. Yes. So some people, they're happy and to live, work hard to do things there. But some other ones, they are not. But what does I say? All those things, you can't measure them. You can't know how happen. So only why I bring my ideas, don't think your marriage fail. No matter what circumstance in, if it's end, enjoy, celebrate the period you have been together.
Celebrate it.
Yeah, you have to celebrate it, because at least you have that period. You enjoy each other, you call the name, you share things there, you do things. Even sometimes you have kids in part of it. Even sometimes you have been financial gain, something, put things together. Yes, that's what people should celebrate. That's what it should be happening. It becomes your resume. See, now in Western countries, this is my third marriage, this is my second marriage, this is my fourth marriage. And it's normal. There's not that problem is. But as Africans, we still have that fear in us.
I think it's a very interesting point that you say. This, especially, it's a concept that not many people are familiar with, or they tell themselves, like, just because, like you said, it's your second or third time, it's okay.
Yes, it's okay, because it's life. Because you see, and that's why I keep coming again on my teaching. It's your mind. Everything's in your mind. The love and the hate, they're in your mind. So that is why when you enjoy to live in happy, you have to witness happiness. Witness happiness, feel the happiness. And the love also, you feel it. And if you know there is no love, if you see the hate is coming, if the abuse is coming, you just stop it. If you can't work out, and live away peacefully. See, the problem again, it's that anger when the relationship ends.
It's the anger.
Yes, it's the anger. And I could see now, as I see growing up, when sometime also, I can go also a bit topic, because the anger also came, maybe it's jealous. So one person, he doesn't want one person to go. That's how always happen in relationship. Yes, one you want to end, other one want to continue in. So now that is where the anger came now.
And it's much harder when there's children involved. And I think like within the Black community, as much as I praise and we do so many good things, this thing of even when you split with someone, like why do we have toxic relationships? One person hates this person, maybe someone did you wrong, but like like you said, there was love there in the beginning. And let's say you have children. When you made those children, it started out of love.
Yes.
See, it didn't start out of hate. When you guys made those kids together, it didn't start out of hate. It started out of love.
Love, yes.
And then it gets to a point, someone does something, whatever the situation is. But I think, like you're saying, is just have that. If I can forgive this person, then I can be happy. Imagine you split with someone and you're still living in hell every time you think about this person. She did me wrong. This person did me wrong. It was a failed marriage, but it's like, you're going to be in hell. You're not helping yourself any better.
Yes.
They say, do it for the children. Do it for yourself. Don't,
Yes.
Get along with that mother of the children for yourself.
For yourself, not the purpose of children.
The children.
So, and that's where it comes again. Know your mind is God. You know your power. Your presence of your mind, it's everything. Because the hate and the love, they are within you. So, you start with love and then the hate. But you see, if you have time now to control your mind, so that hate also can come in a good relationship. Also that hate, you can play with it or something like that. But you see, until you know your mind, it's everything. Until you know God lives in you, it's your mind, is where you can able to control it. But otherwise, the anger continue. And you found most people keep, oh, my ex. You see, that things have to end. So the reason it doesn't end, it's that anger. And that anger, you have to manage it. You have to think you can do everything by yourself. You can move on with your life. You can think, So you have to go back, you think, why I keep bringing this person in my life. And because he put me in here. So only way you go to do, use your mind. And you change it completely in one sentence. Otherwise, you continue to live in here, in your mind. See, always the hair is in your mind. You can't see it outside. Yes.
When you go to sleep, you're thinking about, this person did this to me. Your whole, I've had that experience before, not even just within a relationship. Another person, someone maybe does you wrong, and you want to hold that. Oh, I can't believe they would do this to me, But if you don't forgive, you'll never move on. You'll never have that peace.
Yes.
And it goes to show, like, if I can't forgive this person, what makes me think I'm going to forgive myself? When I do something wrong, I'm a human being. Then I'll be mad at myself instead of saying, don't judge.
Even the worst thing is just even to try to get another relationship, but because you carry on with the hate, the past in your mind,
you can't move on.
You can't move on. See, only the way you go to learn to move on is to know you are God. Your mind is everything. You have power in you to control, to think good or evil. Because all they are in you. And changing is simple.
On this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Raiz. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future, always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Raiz has done with the Rubasha Family Podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Raiz app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today. Okay, so people should, and maybe you're not saying you have to be best friends with your ex or the people you had in the past, but have that heaven of every time you think of this person, instead of maybe seeing anger, this person cheated on me, this person did this, whatever the reasons may be, have love, have joy, because it's like you said, you're able to live in heaven and move on peacefully.
Yes. So all the things are now when you end your relationship. So, and always there had to be one who's going to be anger than another one. So always that the case. So, and then now the anger it continue because no one start thinking, oh, let me think about my life. Let me think first, and then we see how my life going to go. And then like to see what is we have together, special financial or asset and children. So now that is where the war starts. See, the marriage, it was okay. It's end up now another war. It's share
The children.
the children or share the asset. Yes, because sometimes everybody knows what you bring and what the role you have been playing about it in marriage. See, some people can even hide for finances, some everything. So always there's some things always happening. And you remember again, it's in your mind.
So why do you think, like you said, children maybe now things split apart, the financial, and obviously the kids they're stuck in the middle of this. But why do you think they have those wars? Whether the financial support or this, my baby daddy's not doing this, baby mama's not doing this. This culture, where does it? Yeah, why do you think it happens?
Yes, so of course it become again of individual. So each individual they're different. So if I've been working more hours, I made more money, and then say, why do we need to share? Because maybe your wife is looking the kids or somebody else, So you say, oh, he didn't participate. So that is the anger. I don't need to give him anything, And then you have kids. So you have to contribute. Even why our wife had to ask you to contribute. You should know automatically you have to contribute if you know it's your children.
But what about you? Then you have situations of, okay, why should I contribute if this lady doesn't let me see my children?
Oh, no, but most of times the reason, most people, the wife, they don't give children because the men don't contribute. That is the reason. Always there are going to be reason why person he doesn't want you to see the children. Yes.
So you don't think it's sometimes out of bitterness? Maybe he's moved on. Maybe she still is in love with him and she wants to hurt him. So she's using the children to hurt him. You don't think?
Yes, but see again is individual. So it's individual and how the relationship ends. Most of the time that is there. Because there's many people now who are willing to share. Now people they are start learning. Yes, cooperating, to share. So for the sake of the children. But you see, is something you learned. Is again, it's where the mind comes now. It's where your power in your mind comes in. You go to know, oh, this is somebody we share children. This is somebody we share life. Let's also continue, we share children. Okay, it's honest. If we have asset, we share. So why you can't share if somebody will live for 5 years or 10 years? See, that I know honest, yes. The honest is the key there again.
That same love you started with, we can still be co-parents. If things didn't work out, imagine I've seen people and they get along so well. The other girlfriends were coming here, we have our kids' birthdays, they enjoy, they have fun.
Yes. Because this been white community, they've been there for long, they become experienced, they've been doing it now, they could see, no, this is our kids, this is everything's there. Of course, again, also, even themselves, they're going to have those people who have that anger. But at least in general issue, they have been managed well than us. But anyway, time is coming. It's just change your mind. Be God, be yourself. Everything's going to be happy. He's your brother. He become first your husband. Now you are divorced. He's your brother. He's not your enemy. Even you men, it's your sister. It's not become enemies. If you're thinking, oh, he's my brother now, and you think now he's my sister, so the life goes on. You share and you wish each one to continue to move on.
Even just you being kind to that person. Imagine every time I see you, I'm being kind to you. It's very hard for you to be mean to me. It's hard for you to be, if I'm older, even no matter what's happened, look, I don't judge. Hey, like you said, we have children. If I'm kind to you and I go out of way just to be kind, move on well, then it's going to reciprocate.
Yeah, you see, because they don't go back to start thinking about it. Why? And again, when I say always, people they say, oh, I have a lawyer, I have things there. So that is another thing now, it make worse now. Because you keep trusting other people, we give them money to go to pay their school fees for their kids.
The lawyers, huh?
Yes.
I think get the lawyers.
Yes.
And see, the lawyers, they're fine. They're telling you, yes, they're doing, yes, consult me for another session. They want to be, they don't care. You know what Auntie Lily told me?
You know, in the legal system, that is the most expensive now around the world. Eh? The divorce in church is so expensive now. See, the people always have to make money. You see, people don't think that way. That anger make no think what you're doing.
That anger and emotion is then making you go and spend a whole bunch of money, like you said, paying someone else's school fees when you could have maybe resolved it. You know what?
Simple. Because yes.
You know what Auntie Lily told me? She said, Eve, she said, communication is very important. I've seen so many couples who have split when it could have easily been resolved. Very easily.
Yes. Because again, it's just when the relationship ends, it's okay. Yes. You see, because the problem is we think to end a relationship is bad. No, it's not bad. It's good as get married. That's how we should think in life. The way you are excited, married. So you should be the same. You get excited when you are divorcing because you are lucky you have been in hell. Now you go to be live for free. Because you go to divorce because there's some things. Maybe the person is mean. Maybe the person doesn't do this. There is got to be a reason. But when you leave that reason, say, God, thank you. Thank you. This marriage is end. Just be happy. Eh? Yeah. Because if marriage is good, you stay.
Yeah, if it's good, you stay.
Yes. But if somebody is happy, say, God, thank you. I'm leaving. And then go to enjoy. Go to look somebody who's going to make you happy. But don't go with anger the rest of your life.
And it's true, like you said, if you go away as a celebration, as happy, I don't think someone celebrate can go to lawyers and go to these appointments. No, you just say, listen, let's meet on the other side. We communicate, see the children.
Yes, that's it. And you start from, and God is going to give you everything you want. He's going to give you, even though you don't have money straight away, He's going to give you money in other ways. You know, it's the same. As a man, whenever everybody go to see another relationship, there's millions of people still want a relationship. There is still life after the marriage. That's how people should know. There is life after divorce. There is life after marriage. Yes. Divorce is not a big thing. People still crying. People, they think it's the end of the world. No. But you see, that is the church you've been misleading us.
I think also people don't think for themselves.
Yes. That is why they have to go back, work with their mind, talking to their God. You know, your God is going to give you the answer. And the best answer and the best advice you're going to get after the relationship, even before you end the relationship, talk to your mind first. So people also make mistake. Young people like you make mistake. You start going to talk to other people. You start going to talk to your parents. Oh, my divorce is like, my husband is like this. You start going to talk to your friends. Those people also, they have their own problem.
And you know, one thing about that person who's giving you advice and saying, this person did bad to you, don't let them see the father of the children or the mother, whatever the case may be. They're coming from their trauma, and maybe they had a dad who neglected them. Maybe they have their boyfriend who did this. So they're not telling you for the best interest for your children,
no.
or for you. No. They're saying it for themselves. But that's their best interest of your children, even for your mind.
Do you know the worst people? In the divorce marriage, their parents for the kid. They are the worst. Their parents, their kids. Their parents, they have very bad advisory terms when it comes to the divorce. The advice, the anger, the money. So always we go to the wrong advice. the first advice should be always go your mind. Your mind is the best. Your mind is good to be honest with you. Your mind is not good to gossip anywhere. Your mind is good to know everything. Guys, that's best advice. Any problem you have in a relationship, go to your mind. People used to still running to the churches, to the pastors, even them, they don't have, it's similar. It's people like you.
Yeah. They have the same brain as you.
Yes. But that's where we go always. And always the issue is some things around us. But again, your mind also is the one who told you go. So that's why you talk to your mind. You communicate to your mind. Yes. Not going to communicate with other people first. Communicate with your mind. And you see, this is my experience. I learned this thing 2 years, but any issue I get, I talk to my mind first. And it's good to tell you answer, the good or the bad. It's good to choose which one you go to go for.
Do you think, or do you see a lot of, because I think we can talk about communication too and the importance of communication, but do you think a lot of African men have too much pride in relationships or how we've been taught?
Yes, but again, so it's when we look relationship and the marriage, it's for us, and it's there is a lot of involved. Yes, there's a lot of involved, especially again, it's good to become issue with financial, who is stable, who are unstable. But see that is sometimes it could be financial, and most now these days is good now because it's 50-50. Also, women start to contribute in the family. But if a man only contribute, so that power, that anger is where the issue is. And always in a relationship, if somebody, one person is the one who does everything, finance, he did everything there, always those problems that comes in.
When the man is providing.
Yes, he's provided everything there, a woman is sitting there. So always there got to be that issue. If one person, because it's also mental, because about financial. You see, you are working, you do everything there. And because you're working, you make money. So, and if she look after the kids, you think, oh, she's doing nothing, because yes, that your mind is how we think, but she's look after the kid. It's a hard job. But because you are bringing money, always you think you're more powerful than the person who's sitting home. So that's why also you forgot is a relationship. That's why you forgot you married to share. So that's the key. So even the anger, the arrogance, if somebody contribute more, is what a problem. And it's the same. Even if women make more money than men, it's still the same things there.
Sometimes like an issue, the men can feel insecure.
Yes.
Yeah,
always financial issue is the hardest one.
So you think that's the number one separator in relationships, financial?
Yeah. To me, I think financial it's the hard one, because other ones it's just forgiving, and even financial, because always it's, you remember, financial determine which desire you have. You have desire, you have to be having these things, and you get married to have these things. A man promise you this, and then you don't get nothing. So, and what if you don't get nothing? So that's the anger start coming, or you want to become something there. You want to have a job, you want to have a career, and your partner say, oh no, you can't have that. See, that is the conflict. So financial and the career is the key. See, like now you want married, you get married, and a wife say, oh, you can't go to play football, or why keep going to play football? No, we don't have money for the children and things. You see, because the other things, even before that, things the Bible has lied to us is, they say a husband and a wife, they become one. That thing doesn't exist.
They become one?
Yes. The Bible say that. You see, a husband and wife become one. So which you were married, you go to be one person.
Yeah, like a union, no?
Yes, union, but it is not.
Why not?
Yes, because your mind is separate to Yes, your desire is still different.
But what about is you and your wife, you guys align on the same, like you guys have the same mentality? For example, she, like her beliefs and your beliefs, they align together and you guys build and you grow. Isn't that one union? You guys are...
No, you're not going to be one. Because you have things work together, you're not going to be one. There is no way.
So what is that?
Yes, you and you. Yeah, always going to be different. But you can work with your differences. But you are going to be separate. You are not going to be one person.
When you die by yourself.
Everything, even when you are thinking by yourself. When you are dreaming, no one knows. Your wife can't know, or your husband can't know what you are dreaming. You know, you are sleeping. You may be sleeping in somebody's in heaven, somebody's sleeping in the same bed, you are in hell. So, and you know, that is how it works, you know? Yes, that is why sometimes it's only things is when bring the communication and to understand each other and to know the issue we have is both of you. But you can come from work, you have a problem in head with your boss, and you bring that here in the house. See, that is another issue there.
So yes. How do you think, like, if I've had I'm a husband and I've had a bad day at work, football, you know, things have not been going best, how do I avoid bringing that into the home?
It's talking to your mind again. Talk to your mind. Normally when you live in the home, you know that is your first place to live.
That's your peace.
Yes.
You're out of the world.
Yes. So anytime in the morning you are leaving unhappy, you know, you have to think twice. Yeah. Talk to your mind first. Before you leave, just settle before you go. And again, you're coming from the office, you go home, before you reach, you remember, no, let me leave it here. And that's how it works. But you see, you have to talk to it. As we never knew, we used to think that's how life is. But it's not how life is. When you start to know, use your mind, you start to can talk to things there, and then that's how things work. And when it works, you feel, wow, why do you know these things all these times? You know, the power of mind works because it's contain everything for you. Yes, you can leave home with anger. Sometimes sit control, why do I have this anger? What this person did? What is this there? Why did you argue? What did the issue was? And we talk to yourself, we go to find the issue within 5 seconds.
Like, for example, like this is a good example, not even just relationships, right? So I could be in bed and mom is outside of the room and she's playing loud TV, she's watching Nigerian movies, she's talking out on the phone, and my instinct could be like, go and say, Mom, like, turn it down. But me, I know how my mom would react if I do that. So it's, like you said, talk to your mind and say, and this could be, it's the same way in relationships.
Yes.
You know, maybe you know that partner, you've done it, and that partner has maybe shouted at you. You say, like one time mom shouted at me, and then the next time, that anger reacted, slow down. No, just think about football or think dream. And you live in peace.
Yes, you live in peace. You use your mind, you live in your heaven. Man, it's make a difference. This thinking mind, this working power of your mind, this know God is your mind. It work better in you. So when you say in you, it's inside in you, which is in your mind. No one else can sit outside. Yeah, no. That's why the power of your mind is within you. That's why the hell and heaven, I will keep saying it, you sit in your mind. You go, people start to like to be happy. It's hard to know if you're happy or not. Because your happiness has to be inside of you.
Okay, so what, even in situations, because there's a lot of men in situations where, like, you know, everyone always has to be accountable. You know, things happen for a reason and you always take accountability. But what about for the men who maybe you haven't seen your child in, like, imagine you now, you hadn't seen us in 6, 7, 8 years. A lot of men today, especially in those positions, are living in hell. I see it every single day. You think, and I understand it because that's your children. You made that, like, that's your child. For a man not to be there for a daughter, for the son, how is that man going to live in heaven no matter what the situation is, if he's in that situation? Like, what advice would you give to someone like that?
So the advice, like some that if it goes for a long period of time, so that's something also again called mental sickness. So there's something also whenever much talking about always, which is mental sickness. Sometimes, or especially as African men, we always have that mental sickness to look after our kids, to look after the relationship. But no one know is mental sickness. Yes. We never think these people who are sick is that it could be stressful. We could be thinking. So those mental sickness become like that until you see maybe counseling or you learn and you know there's some things wrong with you to work out, to think about it. You can even look, as I say, maybe advice, professional advice. Because if you go to think, oh, I'm okay. No.
But like, that's my question. How do they get to the point to live in peace when you have not seen your child? Because, I mean, what would you do in that situation?
Yes, but always there have to be reason why. Always I say there is a reason. There is nothing which doesn't bring a reason to be happening. Yes, it could be anger of the wife. It could be some things you have to contribute. There have to be some things you don't want to do. That's why somebody else take that things there. But maybe some other people could be just malicious or could be run away. It could be something you can't control it. So you do. So it's now you work with your mind now. So what you do, you just see them yourself. See your children in your mind. Yes. Talk to them in your mind. Yes. See them playing. See what the memory you have with them in your mind. Because remember, everything's in your mind. Everything where you see them is in your mind. Where you can't see them, it's in your mind. So what do? You just imagine them and see them. You see them playing. Look each memory. You have seen them. Because the mind is how it works. So is it the same example? I lost my parents. I lost everybody loved ones. But I can talk to my father sometime in the dream. I remember he came. I talked to my mom. They passed away. But everybody is in your mind. There's nothing go away. Some things go away is something you have ever seen. But everything you have seen, people you have met, people you have encountered, every situation you have been in always is in your mind. And it can come anytime without any warning. And that's how you deal with everything you can see. So that is why you make it positive. But if you keep putting negative, also it stays there. But see the good things in your mind with the loved ones you can see.
I think that is so powerful because, like I said, for many men, even if it's, like you said, malicious, where the other person's being malicious or whatever that situation is, every single day you see your children, you're like you said, you'll be in heaven. You'll go about your day and you know what? I see my children. And that repetition of thinking and mindset, like you said, the power of God, it can go into that other person's mind so powerful, so strong, and maybe it even forces outside of you the way things work, that person will come and say, here's your child.
Yes, that's how it works. If even you go somewhere, you meet them, and like that, because the positive mind is going to come, is going to do things.
You're happy, you're positive, you're joyful.
Yes, but when you tell people, because they haven't experienced there, no one can accept it until you test it. Test, you use your mind or small things, and then you go to see how it's going to turn out and how you go to work out. That's what I mean witnessing it. These the things I'm saying is my experience. The change you see it. Any things which bothers you, any things which is you feel, thinking about it. See it in your mind in a positive way. And you can see it and you can think in a positive way. Or you can put it in a negative way.
It's true. And even some men are in the situations where all it even maybe takes is for you to reach out to that person. Just, hey, all that, but like you said, that pain, that bitterness, that anger, just unresolved issues, it can't even make you go and just reach out to that person. Instead of being positive, that hell that you're in, then like you said, it just makes it worse because
see which people
resolve it so easily.
Yeah, people. My wife, she was evil. He was evil for 10 years. If you live with that evil for 10 years, you should be happy that evil now has gone away. Now live peaceful. If you live with evil 10 years, why complaining anymore? You should be saying, "Oh God, thank you." Yes, and don't mention that evil now because you're already gone. So, but if you keep mentioning, it's still in your mind. It's true. Yes, don't mention it. You've been evil and you run away. Just don't say it. Yeah. No one has ever broken up with somebody who could say somebody, my wife was nice. No one. Always they call them evil. But why do you call them evil? Been with them 20, 30 years. And they are bad children of you. You know, you have things there. And then you call them. There is no person who is evil. It's the situation you are in. It was bringing evil. But the person is still nice. Is still some things there.
Yeah, like you said, why does it have to be in a negative way? It's like, and it's like it's like me playing at a lower team and then I signed for Manchester City. I'm rejoicing. I'm happy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, why think about the past in such a
negative? Yes, and as I say, it's your relative, your brother and your sister. Yes, be happy and wish her the happiness, and don't keep thinking somebody if it's your ex. Don't even mention it to anyone. Why keep talking to people? Oh, my ex like this.
And then in your next relationship, you're telling that, my ex used to do this. You're bringing now that unresolved trauma now to your...
Yes, talk to a new relationship. See, you have to learn to talk to your mind. You have to grow to be able to change. Yes, that change you need to talk to yourself and to talk to your mind.
I think another thing that you've talked about in the past is, like you said, when we came to Australia, Eve, I didn't do it for you guys. I did it for myself. I needed to get a visa in Australia, or I needed for my papers, whatever the case may be. How do we... Because I think people misinterpret, like, I love someone, you will do anything for them, even sacrificing your own self for other people. What's your advice on that selfishness of, no, it's for me?
Yes, so see, because that is a big lie. Always they lie themselves. Yes. Oh, I did this for my kids. No, even to say that, it's just that things want to make yourself, your mind happy. Yeah, so as long as you mention, I did this for these people, look what I did. So you don't know, you are praising yourself. You are praising your mind, what you did to these people. See, always you come first, you. Always it's you. Everything you do, unknowingly, everything had to work for you. See, people help for charity. They think, oh, look at what I did for charity. No, you are praising yourself first, what you are doing, what you are giving. See, you want to make your mind happy. That's what you're doing before you give to the charity. Yes. Because why do you give to charity for? To please your God.
Which is okay.
To please your mind. Yes, it's okay. So that's what I'm saying. Everything you do, it's you first. No outside first. You first.
Even your own children?
Yes, even your own children. Because your own children come after. You exist before your children. That's always you come before them. And see, that way now I learn when we grow, your kids are going to be standing for themselves, for their own feet, to deal with what they have to deal with. I used to have fear, how your life is going to be, always in the fear. But since I learned this, it is no fear anymore, because you got to stand your feet, and then you got to make your life, you choose the way you want to be.
Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this video. Let me quickly tell you about this product that we have. It's a cling wrap, foil, and baking paper organizer. It will organize your drawer. If you're anything like me, you have that drawer in the kitchen that, you open and it's just like so messy. It has like a foil box and all of that messy stuff. This product will put everything in one. You can slide your products in, and really easy to access, easy to use, easy to cut. Get it. Link in the video.
Like you said, if you're selfish and you think about yourself first, then you can be there for others. So when you said you used to even have fear about artists, like what fear was like? Well, why were you fearful?
Yes,
Just thoughts.
yes. So the thought, how do you want to make in life? How to be, want them to be successful? How do you want to be something like that? And you tell them things, and you don't want to do what your parents told you. But now you realize you are doing what is going to feel you much happier than for me what I'm thinking. So that is why when you start to understand it now, oh, they have their own mind the way to do it. But some parents were very strong character. But if you have weak character, just let it go. Because every generation is going to defend themselves. And that would have been happening. But the parents, we don't see it. Yes, we don't see it until the children stand their feet and they say, look, this is what I want to do. But I'm sure also maybe my parents also, they used to get worried about how we got to grow up, how we got to do things there. But we are standing to our own feet now. Whatever consequence you are doing it, it's you. And then you bring kids. So the good thing is this thing to share, to use your mind power, to use, it's me first, and then I help my children. And because, again, the worst enemy, it's you, it's your mind. The person who got to feel jealous is not person outside of you. If I have brother and sister, they're the first one who's going to feel jealous for me. A wife is the first one who's going to feel jealous for you for any circumstance. The children.
What do you mean by feel jealous?
Yes, so in anything circumstance, you maybe feel somebody make something, you feel that anger, that, no, that should be me. Yes, everybody has that. Even you children, you have that.
Even like you said, brothers and sisters?
Yes, brothers and sisters, you can have that, And again, also, parents, we are not, sometimes I used to be honest to say, look, every parent have his own favorite, and every child his own parent's favorite. That's how life is. See, we don't need to say, even when you go to school, the teachers even themselves, they could have a favorite something there. See, that's how life is, but we don't want to accept that. We want to make sure, oh, everything's right. No.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, it's true. I think we see it so much, in our lives.
Yes, everyday life housing like that. So, and the good things have to be happening. It's to talk to your mind. Oh, this is my brother. He can do that, something like that. So, say like now, always I can look like now. You maybe want to be a footballer. Maybe Manuel can become a footballer before you. You got to feel that. But to change that is to talk to your mind. Oh, this is my brother. This is family work together. This thing is ours. This thing is our blood in. So that is how things change. And now you could see many families always that things happen, but because they know their mind work with them, they deal with that peacefully.
You know why that's so important? Because even, I'll give you an example, right? It could be a close friend of mine. I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see, let's say he signed a professional contract here, or he's done this, and I'll have that mind straight away and we're like, damn, I wish that was me, or what about, like, damn. And then if you don't start to listen to your mind, you could even sometimes have negative thoughts about that. Oh, but then, it is normal to have those thoughts. But sometimes when I've had those thoughts, I've had to check myself and say, no, Eve, be happy for him, because if you're happy for him, you're going to be happy for yourself. What's just happened to him, that's inspiration, because that can happen to you.
Yes.
That's good. And it makes me feel happy. I'm like, you know what? And I talk to my mind again and I say, bro, well done, man. I'm so proud of you, because I see that for myself as well. Because if you're jealous, or if you let that sink in, you are living in that. You don't think it can happen to you. You don't think that's fear. That jealousy is more of a fear that it can't happen to you. But if you're in abundance mindset, I'm always going to be abundant. It doesn't matter what.
Yes, it doesn't matter what, because you remember that is God. He work well with his God. Yes, just congratulate him and be happy for them. But as I said, when you use this power mind, it's how You talk to your mind. It's how it tells you which your brothers, because you are brother and sister. Our mind is God. Our mind is so connected.
And we see that jealousy within it can, if you don't, like you said, talk to your mind, and sometimes maybe even if you let your mind, that negativity through years, like you said, that jealousy causes wars.
Yes, it's a hell. It's a hell. That's what called hell. You know,
People risk their life
yes.
for jealousy.
People back home, they still thinking a hell is an area, is a place where they will go. No, hell and heaven is not an area or a place where people is going to go to see, to live. No, hell and heaven is in your mind, and you have to live with peaceful in hell or in heaven, right here on earth. There is no other way. There is no other places to go. And don't even if other places not there yet, don't think about it yet anyway. Yeah. Let's think that life is much better. Life is more powerful than death. Life is everything.
It's really the way you perceive it.
Yes. And you see, even if you perceive negative, it's still life. See, the thing I learned during now in my life, wherever you go to be, whatever situation you're going to be in, your stomach will not know. Just want to eat. Your stomach will not go to know if you have a job or not. Yes.
Or if you're rich or not.
If you're rich, no. If the things are expensive, your stomach, it doesn't care where you go to get the food to give to eat. If you're in the war, the bomb is bombing, your stomach doesn't know there is a war. It's got to say, go to look food for me. People don't know how life is. It's the same. See, they could people somebody in the war in Ukraine, is eating peacefully, nicely, but somebody in Australia who is struggling what to eat, who is in war.
And he's in Ukraine.
He's in Ukraine. He's sitting somewhere, he's eating, he's feeding himself, he see those bomb, everything there, doesn't mean care, he's eating. But somebody somewhere in the street here in the Sydney peaceful country, you can have something to eat, you are in hell.
Yeah.
The stomach doesn't know. The stomach doesn't care where you are. That is why always God is there for us to get food.
And I think why this is important, these conversations are so important, because if we're not careful, even as parents, everything you say, the energy, even what you say to yourself, maybe out loud, your kids are listening. Kids are very, very smart. They're very observant. And if you're not careful, those kids can adopt those early thoughts that are thoughts from trauma. They're not hearing from a young, you are a god, or, you know, the positive things about the dad, even if it's an ex. You're speaking, because then maybe you're speaking negatively, even just you're unconsciously unaware of it. The conversations with your friends, your child is listening. Then when your child grows up, he starts to think maybe this way. She's adopting, your child is even adopting trauma and negativity and imaginations. You can have a bad imagination. What makes you think you can never get that? What makes you think you can achieve this? Kids are told. But just because maybe them as parents have adopted.
Yes, like no, something now we can see back home. We have especially those things there. Thinking about evil, thinking, and there's those Nigeria movies. Always they keep showing, and that's the things I want to try to. How can get this message back home? Those movies, those things we keep showing our kids. We used to see them, we used to enjoy them, watching them, you think, but it's making in our mind. It's brain putting evil in our kids.
Those movies,
yes. But we think it's okay. Of course, somebody make money from it, but man, for parents who let those kids, but it's popular. But individual, we should start learning to let that children, that fear comes out from it. Those things make us fear, because in this whole world, any other places where we have like evil things, they only remain in Africa.
You think so? No, but it's everywhere.
No, majority now in Australia you don't see it anymore.
What do you mean?
You don't hear people saying they're witchcraft or whatever things there. Where did you see people talking about that in Australia?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yes, all those. Oh, it's put our brain and keep everybody in fear.
There's witchcraft. Those people do that tribe. There's witchcraft.
Not just witchcraft. We think is something they have seen walking on the street. No, all witchcraft in their mind. Yes, there is no other way you go to see witchcraft.
I had a friend told me, he said, he's a footballer, and he said, I can't play for Tanzania because in Tanzania there's too much witchcraft and maybe people can see you're a professional footballer. I can't play back in my home.
Yes. So do you imagine how many people, young people, still thinking that witchcraft is something they go to find somewhere on the street or somebody is going to do for them? Or what kind of nonsense like that? But we believe it for many years.
But he's out to see it.
We believe it. We used to go to watch football and, we have to make sure the team, it is witchcraft, everything's there. They have, but see, always those things have been in our mind. And no one start thinking this is not true. No one even can talk about it. When you go to think you are crazy. But you be honest to what you have seen and experience.
So there was a situation, Pogba. You know Pogba? Oh, so sad. So the brother, there must have been a split. I don't know, people said people were stealing money, this and this. The brother went to the news and said, you guys think Paul Pogba is such an... Then he said, he did juju.
Yes.
He said, because they're from here, he did juju on Mbappe. He did juju. Like you said, you don't hear that anywhere else.
No, anywhere else. So that the things that we still behind because people still thinking jujus, people still always putting it. Jujus, it's mind. It's mental sickness.
It is.
Yes, it's a mental sickness. So they have the name they call it, but it's mental sickness. See, people here will get stress. So stress is a juju like anything else, but here we call it stress. You have to go to the doctor or you go to see the psychiatrist if you have mental sickness. So the mental sickness is those witchcraft, we call them juju. Yes, because where else do you see them? But in mind, you can't see them on the street.
But do you think that the mind is powerful where someone can be, maybe this, like they say juju or the witchcraft is that person, a powerful person is thinking bad, something, you're going to get an injury and they're using their mind power and they're devoting it to you. You think that's rubbish?
See, everybody can wish you bad things, but also bad things to happen to you, it's your weakness, it's yourself. But it's you adopted. But if you do your own way, your own things there, it doesn't come. Yes, yeah. But as I say, because when they say it, they put it in your mind. So they put the fear in your mind. See? So when they put the fear in your mind, you get scared. You see those things in your mind. You see all those things you're thinking in your mind. There's no other way you see them.
And this happens.
And you put it in any color you want it. You put it in any clothes you want it. If you see them, those Nigeria movie, you see them, those the one you see is what they see. That's why Nigeria always have those movie. They make a lot of money because the people, what they see is what they see those movies.
And it's crazy, when I was a little kid, I used to see it and it used to scare me.
Yes. Even as we see them, with those made, everything, they will see it. Those they fear.
Music. I used to get scared of those. I remember I used to have like nightmares as a kid.
Yes. You remember those music, and then you see there's something continue to happening, something like that. Like that things, if we don't stop it in Africa, we're going to continue to be behind. We're going to continue to damage our kids unknowingly. We don't know it's bad. We thought it's entertainment. No, that is not entertainment. That's not entertainment. Put the kids' fear every day.
And the mind.
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you smart? Are you a visionary? Well, the fact that you are watching this podcast is a good thing. I got something to tell you. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Here at the Rubasha Family Podcast, we've been focused on consistent output, getting amazing and quality content out to the people who come and support. How can we add value to people's lives? Now, you could be a small business owner or entrepreneur who wants to be able to expand your visibility, get your product or service in front of as many people as possible. The day and age that we're in, social media, podcasts, the fact that they're growing so much on YouTube. YouTube is allocating more budget into the podcast section in media. Why can't you be smart? Why can't you get ahead of the competitors and put your advertisements, put your visibility, your brand in front of as many people as possible? You could actually be one of the ones who was really smart in order to take advantage of this opportunity and put your ads in one of our videos at our lower prices as they are now compared to what they will be as our audience continues to grow and expand as much as we're consistent. So if you're really interested in having an advertisement space or brand visibility at the Rubasha Family Podcast, link is in the description. Send us an email and let's talk. Back to the video.
And you know that thing, I agree with you with even that juju, and we see that even here. I'll give you an example. Like you said, for someone says something, you adopt that fear stresses you, and then you call that juju because that person wished it. Like, it's just like the same way you go on the news and the newscast or someone says, you're listening to the news and they say, you're in fear, it's a recession and da-da-da. That's juju.
That juju, that's make you get scared.
Oh, then you're living in lack and fear because you watched it on the news that because it's happening around the world,
yes,
saying no.
Oh my God. And then you have some money to do something there, and then you're scared. You lose wrong things there because, and that how.
And you project that fear onto you.
Me, I remember all my motivation speaker, what they say this thing was, most times it was 1900, 1930. It's still the same things. The same news is still the same up now. Now it become bigger because now we can have them on internet, we can have them everywhere. But it's us again to have to know. And it's hard to teach people, it's hard to tell people because when you change, people think, oh, this is false teaching, this is crazy. And we forgot we've been crazy for many generations.
Mm-hmm. Especially we've been crazy, yeah. A lot of unhealed trauma, unhealed parents, I see it every day, and then sometimes even as children, you have to start to question, just because they're your parents, it doesn't mean they're right. No, I'm telling you, as kids, sometimes obey your parents and this and this. Sometimes what your parents are telling you is
because they forgot also the parents can have mental sickness.
That's what I'm saying.
Parents can be sick. Yeah. When you are sick, we think, oh, it's children. See, that is another problem we have in Africa. Always we think children, they're the one who are sick. That's the key. We forgot also we become sick. We forgot also as parents, we get trauma, we get stress. And that's why you go to see a person who was nice and then later change and then maybe he ran away from his children. People think, oh, this person is bad. No, it's mental sickness. So you remember, mental sickness, no one sees it because he attacked somebody who's health. He attacked somebody who's no. And you wonder, you question, why did it happen? That's how it happened. There's no person who leave his children when you are normal. Only the reason it happened, it's mental sickness and no one has know what the problem is.
It's true.
As parents, we are always sick like anyone else.
Yeah. So that's what, even for, children, people like you said, talk to your mind, listen to yourself first. Yes, maybe you have great advice from your parents and you see they're coming from a view of, yes, actions and, there is that good advice that we can depart onto our children. Keep going, and you see those are the ones who lived such a happy life because from a young age, they're spoken with positive words. But like you said, you could be listening to your parents and that could be bad advice. You're listening to your uncle and your auntie, but uncle and auntie have been hurt. Maybe their dad, they have issues that has unresolved. So they're now putting that onto you because the way they talk to you is the way they treat themselves. So now, and then you'll see, I have to do what my parents say, no. And like you said, there's divorces that happened because of the parents. You listen to uncle, you listen to auntie,
Yes, so that the things live in the communities. So that the consequence, we live in a community sometimes we think is good, but also because you got to be following community instead to follow yourself. And that where also it damage a lot of young generation. It damage a lot of talent. We had many talent in Africa who could have done those kind of things, the music, the sport, acting, everything's there. But because they put down those industry, they put down those activities, so there's many who've been washed away. Why? It took us long time in Africa. It took long times, even now, is still to see sport, to see music, to see. It take us long times, even to accept it.
Even something, sorry to cut you off, even to something like you see your child is playing PlayStation all the time, and they say, yes, but and maybe they can express, this is a career too. There's kids who are paying their parents' mortgages, they're millionaires because of that PlayStation game. You're always shouting for them to turn it off. And sometimes these white kids, they allow them. When I was in Europe, I had a player in my team. He was a professional FIFA player. A Muzungu kid, professional. So he was traveling to Barcelona, meeting Frank Lampard because he was professional in this. But his parents, maybe they just, okay, son, play.
Even now,
shouting, go read a book.
Even now, we still have behind technologies. Parents to have to punish their kids to have their phone. Parents have punished the kids to have an iPad. See? Kids, you can't watch an iPad, you can't do things there. The technology is going quicker than anything else. This is the good thing, this is the future. But we keep limiting, we keep punishing our kids to have things. And these tools now is not luxury anymore. This is working tools. Yes, Africa, we have to go back. We have to start thinking back.
Well, Africa's a luxury though. For example, if you have an iPhone, not just anyone.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That mentality has to change. Because that's how the problem is now. That's why we keep behind. Because these are tools now which is be used in the future. Now everywhere, everybody use iPad, use iPhone, use things there. Of course, it doesn't need to be the same expensive like that, but we have to learn how to use them. And the kids have to learn to use them when they are young. It doesn't need to be punished to have a phone or to have to use this technology.
These are the things that are creating these people who create Facebook, create these companies. But then what advice do you give to you also? I wouldn't want my kids to become too addicted to maybe their devices, because at the same time, those same devices, if you're reliably dependent on it, even all your thoughts, even for me, the phone is like I had to program my phone, and that's why I unfollowed people on Instagram, because I said I had to program things where I need this to serve me the best way possible. But that's because I think for myself. So I can't let the thoughts of internet or what I see on social media about relationships or what I see about what it means to be successful at 21, instead of all those thoughts, I don't want to adopt them into my mind. So what's your advice for parents who also want it, because sometimes maybe that internet is raising?
No. See, anything can be like that. It's in your mind. So the phone can make you addicted. Your mind is which become addicted fast. So when you control your mind, what you need to use that tool, it's only the key. But there is no one, of course, that's what I'm saying. There is no child who's going to go to some things, everything he wants. He's going to be familiar with some things he's going to like. If he like football, his mind is football. He going to use that tools maybe as PlayStation. If we go that tools, maybe go to use that tools maybe as creating or something there. So this is the tools. So now that is negativity thinking people bringing in, and which is not true, because the addiction, it's in mind, not and the tool you use. See? Because people still addicted for alcohol. People still addicted for cigarette or something there, because it is in their mind. Yeah. So addiction or whatever it does. That's why we say they have to be separate. Yes. There is no one get addicted because he's using the phone.
Yeah, but like there's your let's say the parents of your child, and you're out with your child, they're on their phone all the time. Like maybe some parents feel they want to restrict that a little bit so they connect.
No. You see, why? Why is that? The child who's going to be busy on phone because his mind, he doesn't have anything else he's thinking to do. See, that is a sign of somebody who doesn't have ambition. If a child who wants to go to play football, he put that phone down, he's going to play football. The one who's going to be on phone, he doesn't have any other ambition to do. That is what keep him with everything there. But he's not going to be addicted with that until he gets some things to do.
It's true.
Yes.
Even like a lot of these kids, I want to be a professional footballer, but they would rather, and it's more comfortable to play PlayStation and go out and train.
Yes. But you see, that one, he doesn't have that desire to be in the
He might want to say it, and he might go to training.
Yes.
I'm doing enough.
Yes.
But that times is there just playing hours and hours. Like me, for example, as a child, like you said, because I loved it so much, it doesn't matter. And it's so true. We're seeing players who are becoming professional, ones who are playing for Arsenal, ones who are this. Yes, they may spend time playing PlayStation games, but they know I'm focused, I'm disciplined. They put that down to go and do what they love.
You will up, yes.
And that's
so sometimes,
no matter how much,
even sometimes you'll be working. You're working 9 to 5, and you come home, you go play PlayStation. Even if you do for 3 hours, it's not addiction. But as long as you do something else for yourself. But you see, that fear, and it's not there. Technology, it doesn't make you to bad. You yourself, it's the mind. It's here where started it is. It's the same. You're addicted for alcohol, or you're addicted for gambling.
it's the mind.
Huh? Yeah, it's mind. It's in your mind. It's where the key. Your mind, it's the headquarter of your life. They forgot to use it. Last 2 years, I know how to use it. Now, always, I can't get angry to anyone anymore. Yes, you forgive everyone because you found is no one has done anything other than everybody living in their own life.
And it's powerful to forgive. People, the same people here who are preaching about the Bible and this and God, I pray that I can forgive. That same Bible also says the way Jesus is, and like you said, Jesus is a metaphor. It is you. Jesus forgave.
But you see, you remember also to forgive, it's in the mind. Yes. No one should know if you're forgiving them. Yeah. Yes. No one should know you forgive them because even sometimes if you can even hate people without knowing them. But so to forgive everything, it's in your mind. You don't have grudge with anyone, which is just in your mind.
And it makes your life easier.
Easier without working, without going to the community, without doing. I used to see this white people living this kind of life. I was wondering why they are bad, they are selfish, there's something there. But I realized that is all life is. Yeah.
Forgive. And you know what? I realized as well, I said, I can never truly get to the next level of where I want to be in life if I don't forgive. Because if I don't forgive, that same mental energy, I'm thinking about how this person did this to me. I could have been strategizing on my career. I could have been strategizing in using that same, we can do a family holiday or bring the so it doesn't even, it does not benefit me in the slightest in order for me to go to the next level.
Yeah.
If I'm not forgiving.
And you have to think it every day. Yes. The clicking it comes, you have to remember, oh no, I can't do that. The clicking comes, or don't say hi. Say, oh, good morning. Say, oh, don't tell her good morning. That's why those change, it make a little different in your life. Those small change, it make a difference in life. Even now, I'm working with the client, with the colleague, with everything. That change, man, it make you feel happy. You go in the kind of feel bad mood, change the mood straight away through your mind. Yes. And you go on your way, your day is going to be good.
Yeah, and also like you said, you made me laugh when you said, people, you're calling each other sweetheart, darling, honey. And then, like you said, where does it go?
Where's go? It's the power of mind. You are in honeymoon. You love each other. You see everything each other. You see your kids growing each other. You see working each other. You're helping everybody to get a job. You go to buy a car together. You do things together. You do the house together. Somebody's cooking. Honey, let's we do this. Honey, let's we do that. Honey, let's we do that. But at certain things just stop. And see, why is that? There's nothing that should be make you, even if somebody, so the things also, which is, I even remember now, which has damage, also marriage, is this thing calling cheating. So these the things also, they put people is mind.
On this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Raiz. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future, always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Raiz has done with the Rubasha Family Podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Raiz app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today.
Cheating. They've marketed it.
Yes, like, and it is the most sin they have put in people's relationship. And even when you see the media, everything's happening is some things, everybody become end of marriage. And the consequence of that, losing the kids, losing the asset, it's higher than cheating.
So
What is cheating?
So what would you do if mom cheated on you?
What can you do?
Would you divorce?
No. See,
why not?
That I'm saying is, like now I can explain, what is cheating? To go have sex outside of marriage.
Yeah.
So, like, sex is the most powerful energy. It's emotion which is more powerful. And so I can explain to you now. That's why people always, they don't know how powerful it is. That's why these things keep happening in life. So what is the sex? What sex is? It's life. Okay? Sex is life. Sex is make children. Sex make a human being. Sex, again, it's love. People have love, they love each other, and they have a relationship, and then also that sex comes in. Again, sex is commodity. People sell sex to live, to survive.
Yes, but if you go and
So when you know all those definitions, what sex is, the powerful, the emotion is, so that is why all those kind of things happening, the cheating's happening because of the powerful emotion is, the powerful energy is, because also sex is pleasure. So all those things create cheating. Yes, no one cheats from nothing. People, they think they are cheating, the reason of that because of how life it is. So, but it's not about the end of the world. But because we market it, this is the most sin, is how it's got breaking up marriage, people leaving things there, and which mine, it's just sex. That way it is. So you got to can't afford, when I say commodity, people live with jobs. There's more professional sex in the world. Making money for living, to have sex.
Yeah. I think it's one of the most richest industries.
See? So those kind now, we call it sin. Can you call sex a sin anymore? No. But because they've been teaching us this is a sin, this is the sin Adam and Eve have done it, that is lies. Because these things happen in everything that you see them, you found them in the Bible. So those definitions I give you for sex is which make you those things happening. And as I say, always it's what happened after
The
cheating. So because, as I say, he has both energy. Somebody who cheated, he was in joy. He was enjoying and pleasuring with having sex. And somebody who's been cheated on, he's in hell, he has an anger, he's in jealous. So that is why the war between those things is. So sex has those energy the same times, emotional and physical the same times. Yeah, that's how people get crazy. Because somebody when cheating, it's the most pleasure he has. Because the reason he do that action, he want pleasure. And his mind, or he wanted money, his mind. Or maybe he have love with somebody else, or pleasure, something like that. See, he's in heaven that. And the one who have been cheated on, he's in hell. And that's how it works. Everybody go to live hell. And that's why we come to experience, heaven and hell.
To be honest, to me, if, like, let's say my wife cheated on me, as I've matured now, okay, so I don't know if I could continue to be in a relationship with them, but what I do know is I could have empathy for them and say, you know what, look, we all make mistakes. I just see it as, like, for example, like me, you're in a relationship with me, that's like you signed for Manchester City. I'm the dream that you could want. You've signed for a professional team, and then you go away and you go to Scunthorpe. I would be like, you know what, we had an amazing time.
Yeah,
but slow living.
No, see that now in a relationship is not like that, because sex is just the powerful energy. So that is why it's different like any other in life. Yes, there is no thinking that when you start putting, you did like an agreement. That's not an agreement for health, because those four conditions nothing to do with your agreement, whatever you say. Yes, that's how it works. It's mental. Only that person who go to do it is the issue first. Yes, the reason you go to do it is both of you. Yes, there's some things missing. Or is that character the person have it is? Or is just to praise her own God, her to praise her own mind. See? You see that's how life is. So, but the after, that's what the problem.
And I think you're right, because like you said, it could be someone's character. Like, it's funny because when I asked mom the same thing, I said, what would you do if dad cheated on you? She said, listen, if it's this person comes in, it's just for this, and this. Me, because like she said, it's just sex. It's not to break up something. As I said, for me, I just feel like I also wouldn't have that resentment or anger. Like you said, that was your God. Maybe you thought that's what was the best thing you could do.
You see, but see, those the teachings for the teachings, and we go to from the church brainwashing. Instead, we think about it. They say this is how it is.
The 10 Commandments.
Yes, they don't. Yes, but those who put them there, who wrote them there, is mind of God like us. Everything's written is with other mind. That's what the thing you should question about it.
So you're saying there's nothing wrong with cheating?
No, there's nothing wrong with that, because it had to be in condition and somebody does it. Yes, no one just waking up to do that. Yeah, there's just a reason or something like that. But the way they market it, the way they put it there, the way churches they make it, or some things, it's the end of the world. So that is those things we don't question about it. Somebody told us, we accepted it, and no one talk about it at all. That is only the problem.
I also think, again, like the Bible does have a lot of wisdom and inspiration. For example, there's a story in the Bible when the pharaohs, or they were throwing rocks at the prostitute, and Jesus said, cast a stone for he who has not sinned here.
Yes, no one.
So you're getting mad and throwing stones at her because she's a prostitute.
Yes.
But so that's also.
So you remember again, we forgot again, Bible always I have now is not a history.
Yeah, but it's a story.
It's a story. Yes, it's a metaphor. So which is is wisdom. Which is now everything you read in Bible, everything in the world you see in Bible, it has to happen in this world. So that is why there is no sin, because God has made it to be happening. Yes, never think to see anything or to hear anything you think it's bad and which is happening to other people. If it doesn't happen to you, it's good because how you think yourself. But if it's happening outside, let it happen. Understand it's happening because that's how life is. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching that. That was a very good episode. I'm gonna have to call it there. It was a good conversation. We're gonna keep these coming.
Yes.
They're great conversations, and people need to hear them.
Yes, we got to hear them. We want to motivate each other. We want to inspire each other. As I say, we are bringing just sharing. We're opening conversation, and we don't need to have a fear of this program. Yeah. So we just to share, to tell each other the truth, and it's our personal belief. Yes, it's a personal thinking. So it's what we are sharing. And guys, it's good to share back. We need your support, and that's how we are. And we have to keep also supporting each other.
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. So instead of watching Nigerian Nollywood movies, come and watch this podcast. Come and learn valuable lessons. Like, this is ours. I feel it's also our responsibility to go out there and spread positivity. Like you said, that young child who, as parents telling him this, he can watch this and say, wow, like,
yes, as parents, we have to start individual from families, household. We are not going to stop people who make them because also they are living from those moves. But let's tell children, let's tell mom and dad, let's these girls not showing these kids these things. And don't show the fear in children. And also if you have young people who have that fear, everything there, raise your voice, helping your brothers and sisters. This thing had to stop when you share it, that you experience.
All right, we're going to see you guys in the next episode. If you listen to this on audio platforms, thank you. Head over to YouTube, Spotify, everything. We're coming very soon on Apple Podcasts, guys. We're just getting that sorted right now. But we're loving all of these conversations. Make sure you comment. Make sure you engage. Make sure you subscribe. It's very important. Subscribe. Check the links in the description. Go also check out Raiz. We've been able to partner with them. And yeah, we want to keep having amazing conversations, and all potential sponsors, with a contact, we're doing big things and changing the community and the world. And you're going to want to get in early, and you want to get in now before it's too late. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.